Okay, now that we've visualized our project and we've created a sketch, a tracer image from it, we're going to take a quick look at how we can plan our project. So let's jump back into Adobe Photoshop. And in Adobe Photoshop, we've got our original sketch image brought up here. And I've actually brought back this original source file, so all the buttons are separate and whatnot. But basically, what we're going to try and do now here is we're going to try and plan our project. Now, in AutoPlay Media Studio, one of the basic concepts is that we add interaction to objects. If we jump back into AutoPlay Media Studio environment, we can take a look at the objects available from the Insert menu. We've got the button, label, paragraph, image, video, flash, web, hotspot, input, and list box objects. In addition to that, we've got some plug-in objects. These are going to be increasing over the course of time, but included with the application is the shape and slider plugin objects. Okay, so basically what we need to do in AutoPlay Media Studio is create objects from all the portions of our design which are going to be interactive. So if we go back to Photoshop here and we take a look, we can sort of look and say, alright, the background image, is that going to be interactive? Not really. The screen area, it's not going to be interactive. It's an integral part of the design, but the user isn't going to be able to change it or click on it in any way during the runtime of our application. So we're going to leave that as part of the background image. Again, with the logo, it's not an interactive portion of our design, so we can leave that as part of the background. The parts that are going to be interactive clearly are the buttons. These are going to navigate the user throughout our presentation. So in this case, when we're planning our project, we've planned that we're going to make the screen and the logo part of the background, so we can make that one image, and we can do that just by turning off our buttons and our text for our buttons. There we go. And I think I accidentally turned off the logo. There we go. So that will be our background image right there. So I'm actually going to go ahead and save that as it is. And I'm just going to use Ping24 format here. Now, this is just for the purposes of this demo. You can use JPEG or arrange it any way you want at any compression setting within your favorite editor. But I'm just going to go with Ping. I'm going to call it background. Then I'm going to go back into the application and I'm going to turn back on the buttons and the text. Now, in planning our project, we notice that the buttons are all the same. So essentially what we need to do is we need to have one button that goes from this design into the button maker, which we can use for AutoPlay Media Studio. So in planning our project, we've decided that the interactive portion of this is going to be one button. So I'm going to turn these other ones off and I'm going to unlink them. There we go. This button, that's going to be our only button, and we're going to add the text to it in the button maker before we go into AutoPlay Media Studio. And then for each button in AutoPlay Media Studio, we can set the separate text and the links that go with them. So that basically concludes this lesson on planning your project. What you want to do is, after you visualized it, you want to go through your design and pick out all the portions that are going to be interactive. Make note of those, and then make note of which portions aren't going to be interactive, and decide which is the best way and the most economical way you can consolidate the non-interactive portions, and what is the best way that you can possibly reuse certain interactive portions. In our case, the button is going to act the same button for all 5 buttons, and it really keeps your file size down and it keeps everything simple. So let's go on to the next lesson.